The goal today is to talk about how can we plan and execute AI for small business owners. But that also applies for nonprofit organizations and for as well professionals, marketing professionals learning to use AI. So that's the idea. For sure, it's not something, it's to be very hands-on. I'm going to send the presentation as well. So I hope you guys can get the most. So let's go for it. So just to introduce myself for who doesn't know me, my name is Ana Rocha. I'm a marketing consultant and mentor. I have been working marketing for almost 30 years now. So very since I was less than like 20 years. I started to work in marketing back home in Brazil, where I had a career in corporate and I worked in Petrobras, the biggest oil company of Latin America. I work in an insurance company as well as a marketing manager, and led big campaigns. And since I moved to Canada 10 years ago, I started to transition to become like an instructor and also a consultant and mentor. And that was a goal in my life. To I had this dream job in my mind that was to be an instructor to teach. So I have been doing that for 7 years. And I teach at Langara College. I teach in the United States at Workforce Institute. Besides that, I founded Evolving Strategy Consulting about 2 years ago. The main purpose is to bring clarity and focus and confidence for entrepreneurs. What I can see in my class and also working on profits and working with small business and having small business as clients. And to be honest, not just for small business, we see that lack of strategy and clarity for marketing in big companies as well, and the pressure to be on social and the pressure to feel that you're the fear of missing out, right? Like I'm not there, I need to be there, I need to be posting, I need to be on Instagram, I need to be on TikTok. And many times without a strategy behind, without even asking yourself sometimes if your buyer persona, your target audience is there to solve this problem that you have the solution for, right? So, like I'm a lawyer, and people are not looking for lawyers on Instagram, for example. Just a very quick example. So, my goal is to bring this knowledge about strategy to give structure and also help making decisions, even about, for example, what part of my marketing should I hire someone to do. And today we're going to talk about that using AI and how can we use the strategy and the questions that we ask ourselves when we are doing a strategy to help to get the best from AI and a better result from AI. So, and then I want to ask you guys now, what are you using in your marketing activities? What kind of AI tool are you using in marketing in your marketing activities, and how often are you using AI? So just for me to have like an idea about how you guys going with AI. If anybody want to share. ChatGPT, at least once a week. Okay, Esty. Awesome. Stephanie, I know you don't have Instagram, right? You don't feel like this pressure of being in that, and that's great. I know. I use ChatGPT for copywriter and newsletter, email templates. Perfect. Yeah, that's a good use of ChatGPT. Today we're going to talk about other AIs, generative AIs for content creation. But I have downloaded Instagram today. Okay. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let me know how it goes, okay? And if you need any help. David, if you'd like to share, or Michelle or Rochelle. Yes, David, please. No? Okay, I know some people are driving. Rochelle, if you like to share, it's totally fine. I know you're a heavy user, right, of AI. Idea generation for Michelle. Okay, awesome. Okay, so then we have, I'm a heavy user as well. Okay, David, for operations efficiency. Okay, great. That's great. So it's a different type of way to use AI. I started to use for operations as well. To be honest, today I did a big one, a huge task, operations finance task, compliance. Okay, different types. Okay, we're gonna talk today a lot, David, just for you to know about. It's going to be more about content creation. But if you need to talk, or if you need to, or if you have questions more about operations and also related to compliance, let me know, and then I can, try to help. Also, I've been playing around with Google Pomeli, have user of LMS, Gemini, Notebook,
Can I
Shop.
have the cheese phone?
Hi, Carolina. Sorry. Oh, she was talking. Okay. Okay, interesting. So, Rochelle, I think you're using even more things than me. So, if you want to add anything, you're more than welcome. And today we're going to talk a lot about ChatGPT, about Gemini, and about Claude AI. And I'm going to try to show how I play around those three guys or girls or they, whatever you guys prefer, the kind of relationship you want to have. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about, like that I want to bring, is that the goal of talking about AI with purpose is to manage our anxiety. So I know a lot of people are feeling the pressure to be on AI. The best way for you guys to learn to use AI is using AI. So the more you use, the more you understand how the tool works and what the tool can help, and also the constraints. So, and the more you use, less anxiety you're gonna feel, right? I want you guys to have more clarity about how to use AI. And I'm talking about pretty much about ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. That is important to say, right? I want you guys to use with more intention, and that doesn't matter what is the AI. So everything that I'm going to talk about serves for other AIs as well, pretty much for content creation and idea generation, and marketing that truly it reflects who you are, right? So we don't want to use AI in a way that is the same as everyone, right? So how can we make AI create something that understands who we are and talks to our buyer persona in a deeper level? So we're going to talk about the before, the during, and after of using AI. So let's start with how can we prepare ourselves? How can we have a strategic preparation, to get the most from AI? So let's think of AI as the intern, a very good intern that you hire. This person doesn't have much experience, but he has the knowledge, the capacity, right, to solve problems for you. But you need to train this person to get the most, right? So if you just ask, do that for me, and then you don't give direction, probably the result's not going to be the best one. If you give direction, you're going to get a much, much better result. So that's the same idea. You need to train AI and teach AI to get the most from AI. So when we're talking about before using AI, we're talking about clarity. So it's important for you to, when you're reaching AI or creating a prompt, to share what is your goal. So, and here that applies very well for content creation and also for idea generation. So, if I preparing myself to do my marketing and I need AI to help me, I need to share what is my goal at the moment. I am trying to attract more clients. Am I trying to get my brand out there? I'm trying to get more engagement because I have a good number of people that follows me, that engage with me, that reads my newsletters, for example, but they are not engaging, right? So the conversation is not happening. And also, if you're in the bottom of the funnel, we are talking about like a marketing funnel here. So I'm trying to convert people, right? So what is the type of, the goal is so important because then AI can create the right call to action, the right approach for the right audience. So you need to give information about who is your audience, who is your buyer persona. I'm not going to get deep here about each of those steps. In my next webinar, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to have webinars about marketing strategy and also AI. So the marketing strategy webinar complement very well because I go deep about how to do the goal, how to do the audience, how to create a buyer persona, and what result do you want from this content, right? So you're gonna in your prompt, and I'm gonna give the prompt, say what is the goal, who is a buyer persona, who is a target audience. The more information you give, the better ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok or any other AI is going to be able to create the content that resonates to this person. So we need as well to think about the right tool, right? So each AI has a different focus. So not all tools deliver the same results. And I'm going to use a specific prompt, and I'm going to show how it's going to be different from Gemini, ChatGPT, and Claude. Choose based on your needs, not on trends, and the right tool get you better results. So that's the other thing to think. So giving some examples here. When I'm talking about goal, I'm talking about saying something like, in my case, that is the case of E-volving, create educational content on Instagram to position E-volving as a reference in strategic marketing and for small business. Though that's my goal. That's my goal. My goal is to position myself in this way. And I give this information to AI. Who is my audience? My audience are small business entrepreneurs, micro entrepreneurs, nonprofit organizations. The ideal situation is for you to ask to create content in for small business first, for nonprofits after. So don't put the same. If you have different buyer personas, so you're gonna create content for different personas. You're not gonna create content for all of them together because it's not gonna resonate. The pain points are not the same. The gains are not the same. So in my case, my small business clients, they feel overwhelmed by marketing and they're looking for clarity and direction. Most part of them have some experience in marketing, some knowledge in marketing. Some of them are launching their business. What results do you want from this content? So in my case, build trust, drive engagement, and encourage the audience to book a discovery call. I'm already here saying that my goal is to position myself, and in my result, my end result is for people to book a call to talk to me. Okay, let's talk about now choosing the right tool. So ChatGPT, great for ideas and structure. Gemini, in my opinion, my way to look at it, okay, maybe you guys are going to have another experience. It's great for humanize the text. Is much more friendly, the conversation, the way that answers as well, more like 20-ish years old someone. ChatGPT much more blended, right? Without personality, so much personality, or it's going to have the personality that you ask ChatGPT to have and usually agrees with everything that you say. So you need to be careful. Not all tools deliver the same results. So, for example, Claude AI is great for long format content. That's how I use. I don't expect the same outcome. So, ChatGPT great for accelerate my process. Gemini to refine, and Claude is going to be to organize in depth. That's how I use. Usually, I start on Chat. I go to Gemini to bounce ideas. And when I'm right to like, for example, create a long format content, I go to Gemini. I go to Claude AI. I pay Claude AI and is a paid version, right? To ChatGPT and Gemini. Choose based on your needs, not trends. So if you need to think ChatGPT, if you need to humanize Gemini, if you need to go depth Claude, so it's gonna depend on what do you need. The right tool is going to give you better results, right? Okay, moving forward here. Let me just control my time, right? Because I can talk for hours. So let's take a look. So the next thing that we need to do before using AI, first of all, understanding your strategy, where you're coming from. When I talk about strategy, is really answering those questions that give directions. That is, who I am, what do I need, what is my goal, who I'm talking to, and because if you don't give this information, you don't get the content that you need. The next thing that you need to do is give the information about your tone of voice. Who are you, right? Who do you speak to? How do you want to be perceived? What doesn't align with you? So you need to give information about your tone of voice, right? So to looks like you, but you need to train AI. One very good way to do that is giving examples. So if you create content before, or if you have pieces of content that you like and you feel like this is the tone of voice that I want to have, you can give it as examples, and that is going to help as well. So, and all this information you can ask. Sometimes someone is going to ask me, but Anna, but Anna, I don't know my tone of voice. So the first, something that is really important, and I always I have been talking to many small business nowadays, is the more honest, the more you, the better. Everybody is really, really tired of seeing of the same. So the more that you can try to figure out how to get your voice out there, even if you feel shy or if you don't feel so comfortable, it's going to be much, much better than copying other people. So it's better to have the process to discover your tone of voice and try things. Marketing is not rock science. We need to try things, then copying other people, right? Giving also information about what doesn't align with you is going to help. And moving forward, right, we need to organize our inputs. So the more you can give information, so you can, for example, have a document, and this is how I train and I help clients, right? So we have, for example, homework where you have your document of your strategy, your document of your content strategy, and then you're gonna upload this information, or you're gonna upload your story. You can upload even your resume or your cover letter, or you can try to create a document that is gonna give this background about who are you, where are you coming from, why you do what you do, what is your purpose. All this information is going to help to build something that is unique for you. You need to give the information about your services and offers and your differentiators. That is your value proposition, right? So all this information is, again, if you welcome someone new on your team, you're going to do that, right? You're going to train this person. You're going to train this person. If this person is working on your marketing team, you're going to give a training, a welcome that is have all this information, right? Who are you? What are your service? What are your product? Why you do what you do? What do you need from this person? Why are they creating this content? Or why are they creating, why are they trying to do idea generation for a campaign if you're launching a new service, for example, right? And how you differentiate yourself. Now, again, giving some examples of evolving. In my case, tone of voice is going to be something professional, approachable, educational without overcomplicating. Sometimes I have some content that is even more friendly, right? That I'm trying just to talk with women, women to women, like immigrant to immigrant, mom to mom, teenager mom to teenager mom, menopause to menopause, and trying to figure out how all this impact the way we do business, right? And how do we feel? So, how I want to be perceived as an experienced mentor who brings clarity and direction. This is just a summary. This is just a way for you guys to understand how can you can give the information to AI. What doesn't align with me? Miracle promise. I never are going to say you're gonna get $10,000 if you follow those steps, right? I don't know. The same as if someone is in a webinar and ask me, should I do my account on Instagram in English or Spanish? If it's a Spanish speaker, I'm not gonna answer without studying, without analyzing, assessing your business, because I don't know, right? So organize your inputs. So this is really work well if you have a document where you have your story, your service and offers, and your differentiators, and you just upload and keep this document there. So every time that you ask AI to create content is going to use the same document. So you can create a project and have the document there. So that make everything faster. So your differentiators is your purpose-driven marketing, is why do you do, what do you do, and your storytelling. It's really important here. That is what makes you different. Sometimes is related to your story, right? So then what is the story behind? So I want to ask how we are going so far about the before. Good? Making sense? Any questions? Before we go back to talk about during using AI. Hi, Gabriela, Itzel. Hi, guys. Welcome. I didn't say welcome. Sorry.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Good. So far, so good.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah. Any
Hello.
questions? Hello.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Itzel, any questions?
No, 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 I don't have.
Oh, good. Okay. So then let's move forward. Let me go again to my screen. Just a moment. Okay. Let me just do something here. I will just stop to share and go back to share because I move it around and then, okay. Okay, so during the use of AI, right? So I know, guys, that you have very different levels, right, of experience using AI. So in the end, I hope you can ask me questions, whatever you feel that I can help with. But let's talk about during AI. So it's about the conscious interaction. Again, is your intern. So, or your co-op student, or a new person in your team, right? That you hire, and then can be as well a volunteer. If you have a nonprofit organization, that is super helpful for nonprofit organizations as well. So the more guidelines, the more information you give to volunteers, the better and the easier and the faster they are going to give results to you. The same with AI, right? So you give all this background to AI. You share your goal, you share who you are, you share your purpose, you share what you expect from this content, you share who's your audience. Again, don't try to create content for all the audience at the same time. That's gonna get confused. AI is gonna get confused, not gonna be specific. You need to be specific. So conscious interaction. Now you're interacting, right? So you explain the context, you state the objective, you should now ask the right away. So what is the format and what is the tone? So you're creating content for what? What channel? Is it real? Is for email, is for a campaign, an email blast, is for a newsletter, is for something that you send every month. And you have, for example, a template, right, that you're going to follow. Oh, Mercedes is here. I remember her from Sunday. And give examples as well, right? Provide examples. For example, if you're doing email marketing, maybe an email that you loved, someone sent it to you and you loved that email. So, or an email that you wrote before and you want to follow, or it's for Instagram, or for Facebook, or it's for TikTok, or if it's for YouTube, or it's for idea generation. So today, just to give an example, I use Cloud AI for operations. So I upload everything that I spent during 2025 to try to organize and see how can I look at all the tools that I was paying for and understanding how I was working with my budget. And it worked really well. But I need to, every time that I was uploading information, I need to say, you need to follow this structure to deliver to me the result. If you don't do that, it's going to deliver every time a different thing. So then you need to know the format and the tone, right? And if you have examples or exactly what do you want from it, even better. So this is a prompt that I have, and I'm going to show you an example about how can we work with this prompt and how it changes depending on how we interact with the prompt. So my prompt say create a create marketing content for the funnel stage that I indicate, top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, or bottom, tailor to the target audience that I describe. So guys, I'm putting together in this prompt the information that I just shared, that what we need to do before, right? The content should be clear, practical, and highlight the benefits of my product and service before creating the content. Asking only, what is the goal of this content? What final result do you expect? And use the tone of voice. I choose and finish with a call to action aligned with the expected result. So we have to fill out a lot of information here. So we need to fill out the stage of the funnel, who is your target audience, the tone of voice that here I'm saying that should be clear, practical, and highlight the benefits of my product and service because I already give the information of product and service. And what is the goal of my content? I need to give this information. What final result do I expect? And then the tone of voice that I want to use. So ChatGPT is supportive, so by default, and rarely is going to tell that you are wrong. So then you need to assess the return. And we are talking here about ChatGPT specifically. So this is a content based on this prompt. And in this prompt, I ask it to create content for small business entrepreneurs for awareness stage and to share what do I do and to make them think about if I can help them. So you don't need to post more, you need more clarity and I'm going to read here quickly because then I'm going to say what did I change. So this is the first interaction, right? I get the prompt and I give that to ChatGPT. So then let's get the prompt and let's just do a quick example here. If we go to chat and we put this prompt here and I try to say, please use the information that you have about my audience. My goal is to create awareness about my service. And it knows my tone of voice, right? So let's see what is going to. So it's asking me what is the goal of the content. So the goal of the content is to create awareness. The final result is to follow. So then let's see what we get. So we have most small business owners don't have marketing problem. They have a clarity problem. They try everything, Instagram, LinkedIn ads, emails, reels, trends, AI tools, and still feel stuck, tired, and unsure that they are not doing the right thing. I'm not gonna read everything, but you can see here that puts the follow me in the end because this is my call to action. So let's take a look in one of the results that I got from this prompt, but from another example, that is this example. So what I want to show is that entrepreneurs is not exactly what I want to, right? That doesn't sound like me. So the content is educational and clear, but still feels generic. It lacks my personal brand. So marketing doesn't start with a post, it starts with three simple questions. And then I ask myself if this is clear enough, right? If I have room to reduce the text, to strengthen the emotional connection, to try to use the way that my client and my buyer persona says that. So that is, marketing doesn't start with a post or something like I'm tired of posting or I'm tired of Instagram. And instead of saying marketing doesn't start with a post, it's always so important, guys, when you're creating content about your service and product. Ask yourself if this is clear for your client. Because, for example, I talk about marketing strategy. And once I was in a networking event online and I introduced myself and I said, I work with marketing strategy. And two different person asked me, what do you mean about strategy? Right? So this is something that is important to understand, that not everybody has the same background as you. So asking ChatGPT, for example, to make some concepts really simple, or in a way that someone that doesn't work in that specific area is going to say, is also something that is going to help with clarity. So after doing all this, right, I'm going to evaluate, right? So, and I'm going to give feedback to AI to try to create a new content. So this moment, what I'm doing is refining what I created, right? So I want to rephrase. I want to ask for a new version. I want to shorten. I want to go deeper. So usually when I want to go deeper, and then I'm going to show you, I usually get my content from here. Just to give an example, and I'm gonna go for Claude AI, and I'm gonna say, based on this content from chat, I want a more deep and specific post for Instagram for awareness stage. Guys, I'm trying to do this really quick, okay? It's just for you to understand how I move in between AIs. And then it goes in a complete different direction, right? It says it goes much more, it's going to be much more, in my opinion, directly to the way my clients feel than the way that ChatGPT delivers for me. But I like to do first in ChatGPT and use what ChatGPT does as a briefing, and then I go to Claude AI. And then Claude AI created. You spent 4 hours creating content this week. 2 reels, 3 carousels, 5 captions. You researched trending audios, study your competitors, wrote in your brand voice. You posted everything on schedule, and then crickets. Maybe a few likes, maybe a comment from your mom, but not real traction, no leads, no clarity, or whatever it's working. So you think, I need to post more, be more consistent, try a new format, but but here is what no one tells you. The problem isn't your effort, isn't even your content. The problem is you're answering questions no one is asking, right? So, and that's a really good content. To be honest, this was a good one. So this is exactly the pain point, right? This is how we feel. This is much more generic, and this is what I mean, right? There is one more poster coming here. Okay, I got to go. Okay, Stay Garcia left, but Bettina just arrived. Hi, Bettina, welcome. I'm just comparing the result from a prompt between ChatGPT and Claude AI. So you can see that chat is much more generic and Claude is much more specific. You can ask ChatGPT to be more specific, and you can give more information to ChatGPT about how your buyer persona feels and says. And this is going to make it more like this. The thing is that in general, Claude AI, it's much more to the point and has a better database than ChatGPT, in my opinion, for this kind of case. But again, I like to use ChatGPT as a briefing to Claude, right? So it's like someone that is writing for the first time that doesn't have so much experience in writing, and someone with much more experience in writing. Kind of this way to compare. Again, in my way, the way I use, right? So, but here is just comparing, right? How when I ask for a new version, I shorten, I go deeper, I can get a new version as well. So this was something that I asked for ChatGPT. So then it turns it more less generic, saying as a woman, micro entrepreneur, and immigrant, that is my specific audience. This is what I always say. Marketing starts when you know what do you want. So it's going more, it's short, it's talking directly to the buyer persona. So it's already a new version, right? So this is just based on these changes, right? That I asked. So again here, right? That's what I want to show you. So what that means? That means that is not about uploading a bunch of information, asking for a content, and feeling, okay, done, copy and paste, right? So it's really about criticizing. It's about someone is giving you the content, and you, as the business owner, need to read that with critic and try to understand what do you need from that, and if you need something that's going to be different. So this is during AI and after using AI, right? So after using AI, we need to adapt, adjust, and make it your own, right? So this is what we did, right? So we try to, instead of saying at evolving and trying to give more information about through my mentorship program, as a woman entrepreneur and an immigrant, let me try to see here how it can make it my own, right? So this is what is the idea, to try to personalize, to adapt, adjust, and make it your own. So after using AI also, right? So we did the three things, right? We look at all this. We try to rephrase, ask for a new version, sort, and go deeper. We also adapt, we adjust, and make our own. So then we're going to test. So after using AI, you're going to publish. And after publish, we should observe, right? So, and here is, again, how can you relate it to the first questions that I told you guys that is important to tell to ChatGPT, right? So if you were doing a content for awareness stage to try to attract more people to follow you, you want to measure if you get new followers, for example, right? If you create a content for engagement, you want to measure engagement rate, you want to measure likes, you want to measure comments. If it was for conversion stage, something, a content that was click, go to my website and buy something from me or book an appointment, right? You need to measure the clicks. So, and then you're going to adjust. So, can we make sure that it's going to work? No. What I can say to you that is the more you publish, the more intention you have, the more you practice, the better you get. And the more you understand the people that is behind, that is talking to you, that is following you, that is receiving your email, that is talking to you on your event, because you can ask ChatGPT to prepare you for an event as well. So how can I introduce myself? How can I pitch? We just had a class on Sunday about for the pitch fest. So how can I prepare myself to pitch, right? AI can help you to do that, but you need always to observe, right? And see how people react. The reaction is what is going to give you the information for you to understand what works. And if you need to ask for more precision, if you are using the right tool, and then if you need to use another AI. So this is the way also that marketing works, right? Is about testing, is about putting your brand out there, yourself out there, and trying to engage with people that you believe needs you, right? So that's the process that we need to follow, right? So the before, the during, and the after. All of them are really important. So preparing the material to ask to the best way that you can, um, being human and looking at the content and not copy and pasting, and trying to get the most and refine, and also testing, observing, and measuring. So we have the numbers. We have numbers from MailChimp. If you're using MailChimp, you have numbers from the insights on Instagram, from TikTok. So we need to look at those numbers and see what those numbers tell us, and also how it's going the interaction. And with that, I'm kind of want to ask you now, how do you feel about AI? So I don't know, I would listen. I would like to ask if you have questions, and also how do you feel? Yay! And I did in 45 minutes. Okay, guys, let's go for questions. How do you feel? Questions? Anything changed? It's something new? Yeah, Bettina?
For me, something new because I was very hesitant to use ChatGPT. Like it was
Okay.
too impersonal for me. So I need to learn about the prompts
Okay.
because for me until 2 months ago, 1 month ago, ChatGPT was same as Google. Like I can say, what is a doctor near my home, and that's it. So I never use it for my business yet. So I need to learn about the prompts so I can. And it's funny because I ask some stuff, and he's like telling, oh, you're doing great, and you say like, don't tell me that. Don't lie to me.
Yeah. No, maybe it's not lying to you, but for sure is agreeing with you, right? And not necessarily, and you need to, you can ask ChatGPT to be critic, but Gemini, something that I do a lot is like I do something on ChatGPT and ask Gemini to criticize, and then I ask Claude AI to criticize. And after all those feedbacks, then I go back and I work again. So it's a lot of back and forward. And the more back and forward you do, the more you kind of understand how this AI think, right? So, and what is the kind of feedback and insights you can get from it. And but it's everything's about the prompt, right? So, but think as training someone, okay?
One thing that I noticed, I was checking an exercise. I translate a family constellation exercise, and I noticed it makes some slight changes that actually change the meaning.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. So, in this case, it's important. Maybe in another case, you have a margin, but in this case, I was like reading and reading again. I said, no, no, this changed the meaning. So, I need to reframe. And the other thing in my case is sometimes I ask because I'm start learning. um I find it so much information that also I feel like if I ask and I'm not using the information, now I have a lot of information to read and maybe use someday. So it's good to interact to learn, but also for me is I need to have a purpose and try to use the information because otherwise I cannot teach. I cannot develop this prompt and improve my version.
Yes, yeah. So you need to be careful as well with the amount of information because it's gonna get lost. So then it's better to work with different conversations, open different conversations, and then after put that together. That works better as well. Yeah, and then you can put that together. I someone asked me here about using AI for visual content. So Michelle, that is going to depend about a lot about for what are you going to use those visuals. So Canva work really well, depend on, for example, for presentations, Canva works really well. Um, Gemini works well for some images for Instagram. I can, to be honest, I sometimes I can get something, but Canva is much better. ChatGPT doesn't work, to be honest, with image. Claude AI doesn't work well as well, but depend on what do you need, and if you want to send me a DM on Instagram or on WhatsApp saying what do you need specifically, I can try to research something and answer your question.
But Canva, you design it help you
It
to design.
helps you to design.
I never tried that.
Yeah, how do you use AI in Canva? It hasn't worked well for me. Okay, so then I can send you some videos, okay, about how to use to try to help. Do you think that can be helpful? Because I'm not gonna be able to explain here right now. So send me a message, okay, on Instagram. And okay, any other questions or comments? Stephanie, how do you feel about you starting to use Instagram? Chat's going to be, AI is going to be helpful? I can't hear you, so sorry. Okay.
Hello?
Hello. Hi.
Sorry. I think so. It's good to have a focus now because I same it was too many AIs, too many chats. I don't know where to go, and then it's too much information. But to know, okay, I use this one for this, it helps to make the process smoother. Yes, my goal is to have more consistency with social media, so Instagram, we will see.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's gonna work well.
Thank you.
And if you have any question, let me know. David, Michelle, Itzel, Rochelle, if you have any comments, guys, not just question, can you can give me comments as well. Or if you feel different about AI, feel the same, like, oh, Anna, come on, I knew all that. Any other question? No, all good? Okay. Oh, maybe here. Okay. AI, Canva. Yeah, Michelle, I'm gonna try to answer you by DM. Okay. So then, if you guys don't have any other questions or comments, I just want to let you know that I'm going to. So this is just what I do, right? So if you guys are struggling to implement marketing in your business, and or if you want to talk more, not just if you're struggling, if you have questions, I have discovery calls, 30 minutes discovery call. You can book a discovery call and for free. We can talk. I'm here to help, and I love to help. So that's just goes directly to my calendar for discovery call. And my idea is with those webinars is really to try to put information, simple information, direct information together uh, in a way that you guys can. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mercedes. And I just want to say thank you very much for being here with me today. It was a pleasure having all of you. Can I take a picture? Yay! So thank you for being here. Just for you to know, on March 4th, I'm going to do a webinar about marketing strategy. There is more the steps that you need to follow to understand how to create a buyer persona, how to define your SMART goal, how to create a value proposition, how to define your channels, and all this to try to kind of work together with AI. So those are going to be my next 3 webinars, strategy and AI again. Next webinar, I'm going to talk about strategy specifically for financial business. And the one in March is going to be about food business. I'm starting to do in industry because I want to bring specific examples for the industry to try to help you guys to figure out. But you are very welcome, even if you're not from that industry. It's just to help with examples. So thank you so much. Thank you for being with me until the end. And I hope you guys have a lovely night. And if you want to book anything, talk to me, go for a coffee, it's going to be a pleasure. Thank you very much. And Rochelle, again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Carolina. Thank you, David, Gabriela, Itzel, Michelle.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Have a lovely night. Thank you.
Bye.
You too.
It's a
Bye.
pleasure. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.